Prince Andrew with Virginia Giuffre, the woman who sued the royal last month, accusing him of sexual abuse on 3 separate occasions when she was just 17. Giuffre, one of the many victims of the deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, claims the prince sexually abused her in London, New York and the US Virgin Islands. Allegations he denies. Today, though, the case potentially inching forward at a pre-trial conference in New York if Giuffre's lawyers successfully argue they served Prince Andrew with the legal documents in the right way. The teleconference today was supposed to be about the mechanics of the trial, the dates and times and potential witnesses. Yet before that can even begin, Prince Andrew's lawyers are trying to argue that he hasn't been served with the documents in the correct way. Hence a huge pile of evidence filed by Virginia Giuffre's lawyers, including things like this, copies of FedEx receipts and even photos showing the documents being posted through a letterbox to prove that they have done all they can to serve the prince in the correct way. Court documents released Friday show the many ways lawyers for Virginia Roberts Giuffre claim they have attempted to serve the prince. They say on the 12th of August they initially sent documents via email and FedEx to lawyers they believed to represent him. They followed up with who they believed was his US legal advisor on August the 18th. Then on the 26th of August, they tried in person, sending an investigator to the prince's home. He was turned away by a police officer who said he had been instructed not to allow anyone on the property for the purpose of serving court papers or to accept service of any court papers. The investigator returned, though, the following day and was told he could leave the documents and they would be forwarded to the prince's legal team. Then finally, on September the 9th, the documents were sent by post. Giuffre's lawyers say this all clearly shows that the prince has been served, but as part of court filings, Prince Andrew's lawyer called their attempts irregular and said they weren't consistent with the rules. In the past, remember, the prince has categorically denied the allegations against him.
Do you remember her?
No. I have no recollection of ever meeting her. I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
Yet in her complaint, Miss Giuffre alleges that she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew and that he also forced her to engage in sex acts against her will. Just hours before the proceedings were set to begin on Monday, it was revealed in a filing that the prince has hired a top Hollywood lawyer, Andrew Brettler, to represent him at the hearing today and to argue both against the way the complaint was served and the jurisdiction of the New York court. If the judge accepts that Prince Andrew was validly served with the complaint, he will then have 21 days in which to respond.